and buenos dias, señoras y señores. Today is Friday, Absurdity Friday. See? Today is Absurdity Friday. Sports fans, science fans, absurdity fans. So I keep tabs of a couple of little things that I think that's worth talking about. That's worth talking about. And this one was worth talking about. Started 1, 2, 3, and then this came along. And after reading this, I instantly understood that number 3 needed to become number 1, and number 1 needed to become number 3. 2 stayed the same. If you're wondering what this is, it's a spare blackboard just in case of a fastball, a new dimension, because there are dimensions out there and I don't know enough about them, so I thought be prepared, leave a board free. That way if we need to write anything down, something happens real fast, we're covered, aren't we? Now, the weekend is here. You can feel the pressure in the camp. It is the duty of all rational and empathetic persons to promote science and reduce ignorance that threatens our sustainable existence. Now, I always say it's about common sense. And after reading this, I still say it's about common sense. It's common sense that threatens our sustainable existence. It is a sustainable existence, isn't it? Or is it? Anyway, so that became number 1. Because this is like a call to arms, isn't it? A war cry. It is the duty of all rational and empathetic persons to promote science and reduce ignorance that threatens our sustainable existence. So, now that the war cry has gone out, so you can expect a weekend of some serious science, because look, the pressure is on. So after this was said, Einstein said, time is what you measure with a clock. And then the very person that wrote it said, wrong. Time is what you measure with acceleration. Or time is what you measure by acceleration. How do you measure time? By acceleration. The first question that arises, how do you measure time? Like, I mean, we're fine with a clock, a watch. Don't think we need to start accelerating to measure time. These are the absurdities, see? But remember, it's rational and empathetic persons. So they've obviously woken up. Now this little dancer starts with the question, how many dimensions does space have? Me, I'm straight away 1. Why? Because that's all I've ever seen. That's all I've ever known. None of my friends have ever said to me, hey, did you hear about that dimension down the road? The other one? No. Did you hear my girlfriend? She went to the other dimension last Friday? No. My dog disappeared. I think it's gone to the other dimension. No. Never. In all my years on planet Earth, have I heard anybody mention seeing, going to, just got out of, has rebooked to go to another dimension. But according to our current understanding, there are 4. Up, down, left, right, forward, backwards, and time. So straight away, I'm like 7, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Dimension, 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 and then time. So we wait a couple of seconds, like, so we were just in a, as time passes, you must get caught up in a dimension or something. What if we realised that our theories, such as string theory or brain theory, not brain B-R-A-I-N, this is brain B-R-A-N-E, right? and not to be confused with like the wheat bran, the cereal, or the oat bran, okay? It's brain. Or brain theory suggesting additional dimensions were inaccurate because we only considered one time dimension. Who only considers one time dimension? Who, in their right mind, comes to this party, right, considering only one time dimension, right? Imagine discovering the existence of other dimensions of time. What implications do you think this would have on our understanding of the universe? See, they're pumping out the questions. But it's all, this is obviously the calling, it's the rational and empathetic persons, isn't it? Right? So this weekend, expect some action. I'm half expecting an ambush. I've got a funny feeling that somebody's going to come up with an explanation for how Apollo descended 367,000 feet, which is the altitude, just over the altitude that passenger planes fly at, but 10 times over the altitude that passenger plane flies at. And it was traveling at 5,600 kilometers an hour. That's 7.2 times the speed of a passenger plane. It was in a complete vacuum in 1969. It had never been attempted before. The Eagle was still in bubble wrap. And there's no explanation for how in a vacuum and in 1/6 of Earth's gravity, they reckon that's a bonus. It's only 1/6 of Earth's gravity. Yes, it's still a few tons plummeting towards the moon in a vacuum. Just because it is 1/6 of Earth's gravity doesn't mean it's pushing the rocket, does it? So there could be an explanation coming for that descent. That would really bowl us over, and then there could have another ambush, and they could surprise us with how Romer's telescope did actually work out the speed of light by observing Io as it popped out from behind Jupiter over 8-9 years in different positions. Even though Jupiter was up to 7, 8, 900 million kilometers away, and he was using the telescope, which was not going to give any light delay, it's not going to detect it. But there's got to be a logical an answer to this riddle, isn't there? And you just know that it's going to come with the explanation of how the Eagle descended. And probably, just to kill us off, they are going to tell us exactly how the Egyptians carved 2.5-ton stones out of a limestone quarry using nothing but copper hand tools. So, if they're starting to say it is the duty of all rational and empathetic persons, right, we can expect all of the answers that we're seeking, because they must have the cream and the gravy, the sweet bits. Working on this now. Science is under pressure and still no explanations. Aberration? Bradley? I don't think so. If it's so, 16 kilometers, a light beam, 16 kilometers, choo choo choo, bounced off of a couple of mirrors, ended up landing on a toothed wheel. 16 kilometers in 1849, 30 years before electricity was around. That was very, very clever. So, the weekend is here. Did we go here? I don't think we did. Somebody else. Do pesky black holes last forever? I mean, standard, isn't it? Did you get that? Oh, I did forget. Somebody asked this. This is one of these rational and empathetic persons, okay? do pesky black holes last forever? I'm thinking, everybody knows, nothing lasts forever. So it's game on. Explanations are definitely on their way. And when those explanations come, we shall retreat with a tail between our legs. But if they don't come, we're going to carry on marching forward, aren't we? Hasta la vista, baby. Have a good weekend, full of science and stuff.